From a fight for GOP unity to a fight for unity, we're talking across the country. Donald Trump labeling President Obama as divider-in-chief, but tonight, will Trump be able to present himself as unifier-in-chief to Virginia Governor Jim Gilmore, who thinks he will, but former Ohio State Secretary of State Ken Blackwell isn't convinced. Ken, I want to start with you. You've been skeptical from the very beginning. We've seen 3 days of the GOP convention where the overarching theme was sold to us as unity, but we haven't always seen that so far.
Well, I think we're going to see it tonight, Charles, and let me just be perfectly clear with you. I think Donald Trump has been a gentleman. I think he has embraced the GOP platform, which is a conservative platform. I think he has laid out a path to restoring judicial order to the Supreme Court. And as a consequence of that, and given our choice in this election, I'm going to be working very, very hard for the election of Donald J. Trump.
Governor Gilmore, yesterday, after Ted Cruz implored the audience to vote their conscience, Hillary Clinton tweeted out the same thing, obviously taking advantage of this. Do you still think that there are more Ted Cruzes out there who maybe don't want to speak up for fear of maybe the backlash, but do you fear that there's still some work to be done within the party, and once that's done, how does Donald Trump spread this message beyond to independents and Democrats?
Well, listen, Charles, I agree with what Mercedes Slapp said and my friend Ken Blackwell. We have to unify the party. At a critical moment about a month and a half ago, when there were prominent Republican leaders out there saying, never Trump, we're never going to support him. Jeb Bush just wrote a very negative op-ed just the other day. I tried to become a voice for unity for this party. The party has got to be unified because we have to keep our eye on the main point. And the main point is defeating Hillary Clinton. She has a liberal agenda. The Obama-Clinton economic policy is making people poorer. It's making people more desperate. It's creating dissension in the country. We have to do something to grow this economy. She will not do it. And the key is to not get into this kind of inter-party argument going back and forth. I think what Ted Cruz did last night was very counterproductive, very unhelpful. He was putting his own ambitions ahead of the best interests of the party and the country, and I don't support that.
You know, Ken, tonight we hear that the theme's going to be law and order, the wall, and things like that. If that's indeed the case, I think the narrative from the Democrats will be that Donald Trump has an anti-brown people agenda. We already had a guest earlier today who said that. And the idea is that he's going to just try to bring out a larger white voting electorate this time around to win, regardless of other non-whites in this country. How does he get over that sort of that fight against him? Because that's the one on the Democratic side that they keep pounding away at.
Well, look. Governor Gilmore and I are both the directors of the National Rifle Association. One of the most popular ads that we have out right now is a black woman saying that she wants to be safe in her home and among her family members. As a consequence, I think there are a lot of folks, black, brown, Asian, African American, you name them, who want to be safe in their neighborhoods and who in fact embrace the Constitution. We need a president that understands that capital seeks the path of least resistance and greatest opportunity. Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama run capital away. We have $2 trillion sitting on the sideline. Donald Trump will put that back into our economy and produce jobs. That means that we will have Americans of all stripes working again. That's what people want. That's what they want to hear. And they want an America that is standing tall and defending freedom, and both at home and abroad. And that's the sort of leadership that he's going to provide.
Well, I always say you can't have prosperity unless you have peace. That goes for countries and even neighborhoods.